I am so thrilled to invite you to the very first Piano Ninja Tricks podcast, episode 1. I'm Lisa Spector, and I look forward to helping your piano playing feel and become easier. I'm going to start with one of my most basic piano ninja tricks, cyclical rhythm. That is not a term that you will hear anyplace else because I made it up. But I will tell you, I didn't make up the actual philosophy of doing it. My experience is that most professional musicians do this intuitively, even if they don't realize they're doing it. And it is something that can save you a ton of time and really build your own internal metronome. I'm not a huge metronome fan, and I'm going to leave that for a whole topic for another episode. But for now, I want you to become your own metronome and you to really build a solid rhythm inside you and save time while you're practicing. The Piano Ninja Tricks are all about saving you time to help everything become easier so you actually learn to practice less and play more. It all starts with rhythm because you have to have rhythm, right? If you have, that's a rhythm. It's a rhythm doesn't have notes to it. If I had a piece that had a complicated rhythmic pattern, I would tap the rhythm before I'd add the notes to it. So cyclical rhythm, it's taking rhythm in making it cyclical in a section of music. I'm going to demonstrate this without my piano gloves. For those of you who are listening on your podcast app, I'm on YouTube also in my Piano Ninja costume with my piano gloves. So those are now off. And I'm going to demonstrate starting with a Bach D major prelude from book 1. And this is, I'm going to intentionally make a error. I'm going to play an incorrect note that Bach didn't write. And I'm going to demonstrate how not to do it first and how so many people unfortunately do it first, which is wasting a lot of time. You'll see as I do this. So here we go. I'm going to play some incorrect note. So you never want to practice like that. So what I'm doing is several things. The rhythm is stopping. I'm like, okay, it's like having a car engine and the car engine, I'm assuming you have a car with keys in it. Older cars have keys still. So you put the key in the ignition. Can you imagine if you got to a stoplight and you actually turned off the car at every stoplight and then you turned it back on and started driving? It would take everyone would be honking. It would take extra time. That's what you're doing here if you practice that way because you've let the rhythm drop. And as far as I'm concerned, if I'm sitting on the piano bench, the rhythm's going. So when I start the piece, I am the conductor of my fingers. I want you to become the conductor of your fingers. Just like when you watch a conductor conduct an orchestra and the conductor's giving them, like, you can't see me if you're in podcast, so I'm going to say it out loud, like 3, 4, 1, so that everyone starts together. So when you're doing that, you want to do the same thing to yourself. You want to count at least one measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. You really want to set the tempo doesn't start when the piece starts. The tempo starts before the piece starts. And I'm going to make this simple cyclical. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to play that same incorrect F natural, and I'm going to take a section. I don't need to go all the way back to the beginning. I know the beginning. That's not the part I need to correct. I'm going to correct exactly what I need to without missing a beat. And you'll hear it and I'll talk through this. Rhythm is still going. I'm going to reinforce it. Do it like 2 more times. 2, 3, 4. And this time I'm going to go on. I'm going to do it one more time as it didn't go quite as well as I wanted to. It happens to all of us. It's okay. My rhythm is still going. I'm still hearing it even as I talk. And that you could take that with any section of music. I am demonstrating with Bach because it's the easiest to show you. I'm going to choose, let's do a little bit of a demonstration of the Schubert Opus 90 number 2 Prelude, the E flat, and I'll figure out it might also be an F natural. We'll see. And this is how not to do it. So first of all, I didn't set my tempo before I started. So you don't want to do that. You want to hear the tempo before you start. And I'm going to mess something up. In other words, I'm going to miss a note and I'm going to stop the motor, stop the car engine. I actually didn't miss anything, but I didn't know what I was going to miss. So I don't know what the tempo is. Okay, I'll go back to the beginning. And okay, I guess maybe I missed the F sharp, so I'm not sure. So now I'm going to practice it in cyclical rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. I messed up. It's okay. Is the beat still going? 1, 2, beat still going. Now I'm going to do that 2 more times, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning so I feel a little more secure about it. If it goes well, then I'll keep that beat going. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bum, 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 bum. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that gives you an idea of cyclical rhythm when you have a very moving pattern of notes. My students and my members of my Piano Ninja Tricksters Club ask me all the time, Lisa, how about if it's a Chopin nocturne when it has more rubato and has more freedom? It's not quite as rigid or as much of a formal plan, but you can still do it. So this is the F major nocturne. I'm going to play intentionally an incorrect note. I'm going to keep the cyclical rhythm going. My rhythm, my steady rhythm in a nocturne is the left hand. The right hand has the rubato. So I'm going to build that into the cyclical rhythm. Rhythm is still going. Wasn't planning to keep going, but music is so beautiful I couldn't help it. And so what I did is I kept the beat going and I broke a rule to follow another rule. And this happens all the time. As a pianist, you're an alchemist. You're mixing things up all the time. So my general rule is don't ever start in the middle of a phrase. But I just started in the middle of a phrase. I did that to support because rhythm always comes first. So my cyclical rhythm came first. And so I don't like breaking up that phrase, particularly in Chopin. It's very unmusical, but I'm only doing it once or twice. I'm not practicing that regularly. I'll never forget this because I'm pretty sure I've never done it since unless it's an intentional thing. I was playing for Leon Fleischer, and it was the 4th scherzo of Chopin. It was a private lesson. And Fleischer would get really quiet when he didn't like something. And he would just not say much. And he just, almost in a whisper, said, "Don't ever stop or start in the middle of a phrase." So I have followed that almost all the time. The only time I break it is once in a while when I have to put rhythm first. And I believe rhythm comes before everything to make everything easier. And I am here to make everything easier. Next in line after rhythm, probably the most important thing is piano fingering. Are you someone who struggles with what fingering to write down? Even worse, you don't write down anything and then it changes every day? Or you procrastinate writing down the fingering because you don't know that there are actually tricks? My Piano Ninja fingering tricks help you establish easy fingering like that and fall in love with piano fingering the way I am. If you'd like to know more, join our free Piano Ninja Fingering Masterclass on October 29th. Link in show notes. It's lisaspector.com/fingering masterclass. If you'd like to upgrade to VIP, then you can have access to the replay for unlimited time and also get your fingering question answered by me live if you get that in soon. So I look forward to helping you with your fingering so it's easy and efficient. Back to the piano for me now, without the gloves. That makes fingering harder.